Good evening, everyone.
Hey guys.
So, we're going to try something new. Last minute change.
Yes, last minute change.
So, I am Chaos. My
I'm
sister is
talking.
Toxic. We do have stories behind those names, and we are proud of them. So,
Yes.
but we did say we were going to do serial killers across the pond this week. Well, what happened, Linda?
Well, you guys, as you guys last week, I told you guys I was redoing my floors, and upon redoing my floors, I had to move everything around, and I kind of accidentally lost all my. I can't find my serial killer across the pond information, so
And I deleted everything I had from Parasisters from my computer, thinking it was the wrong file. So, yeah, one thing led to another, and we're doing a little bit of something different tonight. It was one of those last minute decisions. She goes, just pick a topic and we'll do it.
yeah, that's usually how it goes. But then again, it's not. Well, it's not our show. It's not Toxic Chaos without some kind of, which really suits us now, Toxic Chaos, because our podcast is chaos every week.
So, but if you're just tuning in, welcome. Thank you. So this week it is paranormal TV. We both picked, I picked 5 because I got lazy and I didn't want to pick another one.
I did 6.
I'll be honest. I don't watch paranormal shows. I have not watched them in years. Yeah, so the ones I picked, if you've been in the field for a few years or since 2013, then you might know these. But yeah, so I'm going to share this out real quick on my page and on ours.
Thank you, Anthony.
We will get started. I'm always late sending this stuff out. I really am. I need to be better. Get on things real quick.
Spooky. Oh.
So, okay, what shows did you pick?
So, like you said, I picked 6 because I went through my Hulu and my Discovery Plus. So the shows that I picked, 2 of them that are main shows that everybody would know: Ghost Adventures and Ghost Hunters. And then
I knew.
Huh?
I knew you were going to pick those, so I stayed away from those. I was like, oh, they're already going to be covered.
Those 2 have to be my all-time favorite, but also, Ghost Hunters is like my all-time number 1 favorite one. Taps, because, well, me and my mom started watching that together, and of course Jason Hawes is my idol. So, but Paranormal Caught on Camera is another one that I had chosen, which is on Hulu. The most terrifying places in America. I remember watching that with my mom too when I was younger. So, another one that I have not watched yet, but I guess it's on A&E. It's called Extreme Paranormal. And then
I'm not sure.
And then another one I chose is the title of it's called The Haunting of. That's the title of it. So,
All right.
yep.
So, like I told you, you've been in the game for a while. 2013, Ghost Mine. I've gotten that one. One of my favorites that I actually did stay up to date with, just because I like this. Mountain Monsters, Mothman, all that kind of fun stuff. Yep. Yeah. Smoke Wolves, all that stuff. I've got one that I've actually been watching. It's called Missing in Alaska. It's in the same range as Mountain Monsters. I got the Skinwalker Ranch because my husband and I like to play drinking games to that one. And my last one is I figured if I'm going to go to something new, let's do Project Fear. So those are my 5. Most people know what Destination Fear was. Do you want to start with your first one,
Okay.
Miss Toxic?
Sure. So the first one I'm going to start with is called The Haunting of. I haven't watched that one yet because I just came across it. But it's about the world-renowned psychic medium Kim Russo,
Okay.
and she goes um and does celebrities who had their lives changed by by paranormal events. So she goes through and she will make the unknown known to them and figure out what moments and like what had happened, why their lives were changed, and make them like face their fears. So, like I said, I haven't watched that one yet, so I'm going to start watching that one. I thought it was pretty intriguing. So,
Sounds like fun. So, you
yeah,
said paranormal caught on. What is it again?
it's called The Haunting of with the world-renowned psychic medium Kim Russo, and that is on Hulu, Discovery Plus, one of those two.
It's one of them.
One of those two. I want to say it's Discovery Plus. Don't you do it. Oh, guys, I almost murdered my cat today.
And thank goodness we didn't do Sailor Killers Across the Pond because, yep, you would be the next one. So what did Boots do?
She decided that she was going to use my desk as a ramming thing or whatever. She went and started running, and she ran, and like my desk is not even with where it was because she kept turning my printer on and wasting my ink. Well,
Speaking
when
of,
she, yeah, don't you do it, I swear to God, dashed to get to her food, she hit my desk so hard that it made Todd's employee of the month picture frame slide, and it knocked everything like almost off the top of my desk. So all my crystals I had up there, luckily nothing was broken except for my snow globes, my Jack snow globes, the tall one. It fell and my Jack, it broke. So Todd had to completely disassemble it to glue it back together. And so I lost some confetti, but
it's okay. It's not all lost, though.
no, it's not.
Well, you could have found your kitty underneath the pile of towels that you just literally took out of the dryer, put on the bed, took the basket back to the washer. And then I have a big 20-pound fluff ball I'm going and folding, and my towels are going like this. Yeah, he decided to burrow under my clean towel. Leave it to kitty cats. All right, so I'm not sure if you'll know this one. It's said it had 2 seasons. I think it was on A&E. Don't ask me. I know now it's just on YouTube. You can find the episodes. It's Ghost Mine. It did 2 pretty good seasons.
Never heard of it.
18 shows. What it really was is out in Oregon, all those, during the gold rush when they opened all of those mines, and then you started hearing, oh, I'm hearing Tommy knockers. Tommy knockers is when they would hear what they would think was someone else hitting the hammer on the mine walls that was telling you to get out. It was old.
Oh, I think I remember you telling me about that.
Yep. So this one was, let's see, they actually pulled in, at the time, Patrick and Kristen was pretty famous for going out to these different mines and helping out, miners trying to find out what was going on. So they decided to make this a show. For me being, and I don't know about your history buff, but your paranormal history. So, but I actually waited every week for this stupid show to come out. And I don't watch TV, but back then I was all like, yeah. So Kristen Luman and Patrick Doyle, they were pretty much tasked with going into this mine, doing some investigations, finding out, is it paranormal related before the mine owner would actually let the miners go in and start their jobs. Well, they went in and they said, yes, it is haunted. There was, the heat, all the signatures, cold mine, heat signature of a, they did the whole SLS. They did that back then. There was a bunch of stuff that they used, but their main thing was the Tesla coil. They always took, those things drive me crazy. I don't like Tesla coils, especially the small ones that people make. But that's what they would go with.
Obviously.
Huh?
She shook her head no. As soon as she didn't like it, she shook her head no.
But there was a lot of stuff that went down. There was one night when they were in the cook shacks, just sitting around, guys were playing cards. And at that time, my mom goes, nope, it's fake. I don't know. I mean, for me being able to see things, this show had me going. I was all like, okay, yep, it's haunted. Someone was knocking, like literally, there's no window on the cook shack, just an open wall. And it sounded like someone was knocking on the actual window, and you could see the shadow out there. So for that show, one of being the ones that I would actually go to, because I didn't like, Ghost Hunters and Ghost Adventures. I was just never into those. So it was one of those ones that I was like, yeah, I can watch this. But it went into a second season where, they went in and they found another mine shaft, and it came to where they started seeing Freemason marks going down the stabilizers. And then they started going off. They went into another branch where they actually hit a pretty good vein of gold. Yep, you're right, Anthony. It does. I'm just not a fan of them. I'll post it on here real quick for everybody to see. They give me a headache. Tesla coils give me a headache, so I'm really bad at that. And I've been around quite a few of them. And if you've been to the Blackford County Jail, they have one there, and they just moved the end of last year, a Tesla coil into the Randolph County. It sits on the desk, a small one that you can turn on. But if I'm around them, they just give me a really bad headache. But it's one of those shows, if you really want to see some interesting history on the different things, they go into like the local cemeteries and see if they can find if it was a Chinese worked mine and all those different things in the history. And then they went to other mines in the area, and they were allowed to investigate those, known where a lot of miners died. So that's what they were investigating. Something that most people nowadays, I don't even think, if there was a team out there that does investigate gold mines and stuff, let me know. I want to go.
Right.
That's something I'm interested in. But I love it's rocks. It's rocks for me, so that's gonna pull me in. Being a crystal person.
Right.
And gold. So, but yeah, that was back in 2013, 18 shows. So they did not too that bad for back then. But have any questions? I'll put Anthony down. Yeah. I'm really bad at adding the comments. You know that, right? I'm bad at clicking on those. Like I see them, I'll go to Anthony.
Yeah,
like, wait. Otherwise,
all right. So the next show, huh?
What's your next one?
So I'm gonna leave Ghost Adventures and Ghost Hunters till the end. My next one is Paranormal Caught on Camera. Now I've watched quite a bit of different Paranormal Caught on Camera shows. So I remember it when I was younger. I remember, I actually started watching this one on Hulu. I honestly, it's not a bad show, as you said, with you being able to see things and everything. I feel that some of it's made up just to get attention. I feel some, there is episodes that are real on that show, for this previous one, the previous ones, and the now ones. So I like the show. I don't really watch them very much anymore. Maya's more into that show more than more into those shows more than I am. Now she'll tell you through and through that her favorite show of all time is Ghost Adventures. She loves that show. She'll sit there and watch it all day long if you let her, along with Taps. Now she doesn't like the newer Taps. She likes the older Taps, like when they first came out, and she got really upset with Hulu when Hulu took the first 11 seasons off and started going back with just the most recent ones. Now I haven't watched the most recent ones, but back the Paranormal Caught on Camera show, it doesn't go into detail. It just goes on to what people like residentials. And to me personally, I honestly feel like that show is a very big joke because as us paranormal investigators, we do residentials and we leave those residentials to ourselves. We don't broadcast it, except for with fellow paranormal investigators. And usually only then that is, within our small community that we, So that right there is like, okay, these producers and these people are like screaming for attention. And then I have noticed quite a few different of the residential people or the homeowners that go on these shows on multiple different other shows. So it's like, okay, to me, it's like you're screaming for attention. It's like you can tell which parts are made up and which ones are not made up.
Yeah, some of them you can sit there and go, yeah, that just doesn't feel right.
Yeah, right. And some of the reenactments that they do for these shows, for the Paranormal Caught on Camera, that is just ridiculous. Because, you're sitting there, you're listening to what the homeowner or the individual is saying, and then these reenactments happen, and it's completely two different things. Literally. So, I mean, I don't mind watching it because I do hold that, show close to my heart because me and my mom watched it together, but I don't really watch any of them anymore because, well, now I'm not alone and I have a best friend that will fucking drag my ass out to wherever. So let's go investigating. So I don't have to watch those shows because I get firsthand experience.
I keep telling you, I go, we got to get out back. We got to get back to Grace. We got to get back to Grace Lawn.
I know we do.
Now it's getting cold.
Before it gets cold. But I think we'll just see how everything plays out because with my new job starting, which, yes, guys, I did get a new job, new part-time job. So I am the assistant manager, part-time assistant manager for Claire's in Warsaw.
Good, that's good.
Must have been even try to get that job. I put my app, I talked to the lady, put my app in, went in the 2 days later, and she goes, "Oh, I hired you." Oh. She's calling me tomorrow, though.
Work your schedule out.
Yeah.
That's good. That's good. I mean, you need it. You got babies.
I know. It's really going to help out the holidays, too. So.
Oh, yeah. Definitely. I think I'm going to book another show for December. I can't wait. I'm going to try to book every weekend in December. So and we have our holiday party our holiday gathering. So we find
I have a wedding to go into December.
Huh?
I have a wedding to go to into December, the first weekend of December.
Let's see. I'll be in Michigan at the Lansing show. That's going to be a big one.
Yeah, and then we have worked Christmas party on December 6th. So.
Oh wow, that's a week. That's a weekday, isn't it?
No, it's a Sunday.
The 6th.
I could have swore. I don't know. It's sometime in December.
I was like,
I know it's the beginning part of December. So it might be, I don't know. I know it's a Sunday because we close at 6 at Harbor Freight on Sundays. So we're just going to do it right after work. So we all can do it.
The 3rd is a Sunday. So the 6th would be Wednesday.
I don't know.
Girl, you're talking to someone who's on the calendar right now with everything.
So there might be shows, a couple Sundays in there, guys, that we don't have a show because for one, like I
Holidays
said,
are going to be a little bit busy because I'm booked every day, every weekend this month,
we're not doing a show Christmas Eve, correct?
or Thanksgiving weekend, or New Year's
But
Eve. I'm going to the
guys,
casino, you guys. On New Year's Eve, hubby and I made a
oh wait,
decision.
wait. Which casino are you going to? Are you going to Caesars?
I don't know. We're going north. We decided not to go south this year.
Must be near. We need to go back.
And Anderson, yeah, we definitely do.
They sent me an email that I have credit.
Girl, do you know how much casino money I got? They're saying, "Oh, we've got promos. Oh, come stay with us. Oh, do this." All those
stop yelling. You're the one that laid on my lap. Maya, come get Boots. Never mind.
Yeah, I had to shut my door for tonight. That way I don't have a whining dog.
Oh, it's okay. The animals, Cassie's already moping because she knows Dad's leaving after the show.
No. Trust me, I know about moping animals right now. So we had to put my 18-year-old kitty down this week, guys. So my 15-year-old, no, he's 13. So he's having a hard time, but
it's so different going to your house and not seeing August.
Oh, I know, but Lucky's making up for it. Her little chatterbox, he's 10 times worse now. So, but he's sleeping in our bed, which is I'm like, okay, this is different. But he follows us through the house. I feel bad for him. I really, really, really do. I miss my baby. She's 18. She had a good life. She's still here, trust me. Oh, she's still here. Can't go into the kitchen without seeing her. I'm like, hi, kitty cat. All right, so let's see. I'll just keep going with the years. So Mountain Monsters. It started in 2013. Like I said, I did watch paranormal shows back then, but Cryptide was my favorite. Still are. Mountain Monsters is where, I think it was five good old boys from West Virginia. Let me see if I can find. I know one of them was Billy Bob. I know that was his name because
Billy Bob. Billy Bob.
When I say good old boys from West Virginia, the Appalachians, I truly mean good old boys from the Appalachians. Yeah. So some of the stuff that they went investigating and hunting for people because this is the stuff like the Wolfman. Mothman, one of my favorites. The Wampus Beast, the Death Cat, the Kentucky Hellhound, the Chupacabra, Wildman Bigfoot, which they did 2 seasons. They did season 3 and 4 on nothing but Bigfoot sightings in the Appalachians. So let me go here. What was that?
Oh.
So I got this one, Anthony. I did.
From watching ghost hunting shows, I found you can make out with spirit before they can even. Yes, Anthony. Thank you. Yes. Any show that I watch, I can sit there and see it. Or if they were like they missed something, you can. But not everybody can, So like Chanel, myself. If you're in tune with that portion, like if you're a psychic medium and stuff like that, then yes, that is a very great.
Oh, I'll trust me. I've got a story for you for Skinwalker. I can't watch that without. That's why my husband has made it into a drinking game because I'm always like, oh, they missed something. Oh, it's there. He's like, stop. He's like, take a drink. Oh, okay.
Oh, Maya will do that on Ghost Hunters, she will sit there. Oh, look at that. Nope, Zach, you missed that. Show you on the TV. I'm like, they can't hear you. And she goes,
It don't matter if they can hear you or not. It's still
yeah, she cracks me up when she does that.
yeah. There was a good time. These guys they called themselves Ames, the Ames team. It was five. Guys. So yes, I was pretty right. I thought it was 4 or 5. I have to say some of my best places. I started getting into these types of investigations when I started watching these guys. I was all like, "Oh, yep, I've got to go." Um, I've investigated Bigfoot with quite a bit of people. I've gone to Bigfoot conventions, but that's paranormal isn't just ghost hunting. It's about all of them. So yeah, these guys, I was so interested in everything. I mean, there's an episode, and I've watched it probably 1,000 times. It's where they're hunting. What are they hunting? I can't tell you. I can't think at the moment. I think it was the silver giant. So they were form of another name for a Bigfoot. So they were investigating. You are frozen. They were investigating in a hollow where the sightings was on this guy, and they ended up building I think 20-foot trap, like what we would put in. You know how you catch a cat or a possum?
They built trap.
Yep, they built this in a 20-foot size, 20 feet tall, 20 feet square, huge old thing. Now, at the same time, I don't know if you guys have heard of the smoke wolves, but they were said to be in the same area. This show just kind of got me more interested in what I was already interested in. So, I was all like, oh, I don't know how many times I watched this episode. So, they set it up, had it all working. I could not believe they were able to. But hey, some people have a lot more talent than I have in my little. No, I couldn't even do it. But they built this trap. They thought they were running the Bigfoot into it. They caught what they call the smoke wolves. I did not see them myself on the TV, but it doesn't mean it didn't happen. But yeah, I'm a big fan of the unknown. So if you didn't know that about me, you do now.
But I already knew that about you.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I was going to go to the Mouthman Festival, but I got a show this year. I am thinking about going up to Michigan to the Bigfoot Festival convention.
Ooh.
I might have a booth, so that could be a little bit fun. So if I take Moonlit, I'm going to take Indiana Crossroads. So I'm going to set our asses up right there at the Bigfoot convention and go, yep, I'm into this.
Oh.
I've been on a few podcasts that The Hunt with Grizzly, he talks about that, and we were on with Joe. We were on Joe's podcast.
Yeah,
Into the Woods. Was that?
Yep. That was a fun podcast. So.
He does a lot of those, but that's my type of people, I guess.
You're just weird like that.
Yes, I am. I will agree.
But that's why we get along so well. So. All right. So my next place, and some of you might have actually heard of it because it was on in the 90s. I remember actually like the 90s, early 2000s, and I remember watching it with my mom. Okay, guys. My mom was a very big paranormal person. Now, she couldn't do what I do. So I'm guessing get skipped a generation. I don't know what happened because my dad can't do what I do. But my mom was big into the paranormal. We loved it. That was our mother-daughter bonding time. Just like me and my daughter, me and Maya. We'll sit and watch paranormal shows together. So most terrifying places in America. So that show was on in the late 90s, early 2000s. I remember watching it with my mom, and then it disappeared. like no reruns, nothing. And then I found it again on Hulu, and I was so super excited. Where it literally, like I remember so vividly this creepy voice, like that Nate, like it sounded like a voice from the Harry Potter series. That's the only way I can describe it. Like the female voice was narrating about the location. So they've gone to Waverly Hills. They went to what is that hotel? The Stanley Hotel.
Okay.
And so they take a group of everyday people like we would see at our events and lock them in locations, pitch black, don't even know anything about this location. And they would sit there and have no actual big camera crews. They would have like surveillance cameras up, and then they would also have like GoPro kind of cameras and make these people go into these locations that wanted to go into locations and just be in there by themselves. So it's a really awesome show. I love this show, and it doesn't, to me, I've never noticed it to be anything fake, because the locations that they're going to are actual haunted locations that I have personally done the history on. That's one of the very first shows that I actually decided to, got me started into the paranormal history. And so that's where that portion of my life comes in. But then again, I'm a history buff. I don't care if it's history, it's history. I love history. So, but yeah, I sit there and I watch that show, and it brings back so many very good memories for me.
Aww.
And you can sit there, and when someone's being quiet, you can listen, and you'll be able to hear something that they can't hear. And then you also catch really good EVPs during the show, and they don't even catch it. But it's funny. I don't want to like sound mean when I say this, but it's funny to see the people's reactions when they hear something or whatnot. It's because, it's like, it's coming. You can see it. And then they don't. And then all of a sudden, because we all laugh when we get spooked. So, it's something, I hate laughing at it, but some of the facial expressions, it's not that they got scared, it's the facial expressions that they make. So it's a really good show. I would recommend watching it, for anybody, because it not only gives history of the locations, you can also get firsthand experience and see about these locations before going to them.
That kind of sounds, and I don't quote me because I got no clue what the TV show is called, but way back, and I'm talking way back, they'd harness people with a camera. They see them and then their POV, and they would send them into haunted locations, like a family, groups of 5, I think it was. And I've got no clue, but that's what it reminded me of. They would send them into these haunted locations, 8 hours, lock them in.
That's what it was back in the day.
Is that what it is? Okay.
Yeah, that's what it is. Yep, that is. Back in the day, that's what I was talking about back in the day. Now, I have yet to actually sit down and actually watch an episode from this new segment or whatever you want to call it, new series. But back in the day, yes, they had a harness on, they had a camera here, and then they would have a camera behind them, and have a group of 5 people or a family go into these locations. So yeah, that's what it was. Yeah, it was the most terrifying places it's in America, but there's also, I want to say back in the day it was America, and then also the most terrifying places in the world.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I think they did
that one. Let me tell you, I watched that.
Yeah, I watched one because I was like, oh my god!
So they were in a lot of places,
and somewhere in Ireland. Those were the only 2 that I really remembered. I was all like, wait a minute, this sounds familiar. So that was a fun one, yeah. So it brings a lot. I mean, you. It's funny. I think I watched 2 of them. I think it was 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 2 of them.
the only bad thing about watching that show is not, you get to, with having that kind of like, the harness and the first person POV is, I mean, any paranormal show that you watch actually, like kind of like that, is the bad side of it is it's like, okay, you will get those experiences.
Ooh, I'll have to look that up. So is that current, Anthony? If it is, I want to know because I just like watching people's reactions. That's a reaction thing for me. Oh yeah, definitely.
Right. And I mean,
and I don't watch.
So I mean, the show is really awesome. I like it, and I have not had Maya hasn't watched it yet. So, but I'm gonna get her into watching it because back in the '80s, it was back in the '80s. Well, I wasn't born back then, but then again, I swear I was born in the wrong time period because, yeah.
I was in the 80s. I'm an 80s baby, so I'll admit that.
I'm early 90s. Does that count?
Yes. I know.
You find on YouTube. I was just watching it a few weeks back. Oh.
Sounds good to me. Looks like we have
I'm gonna have to Google that now.
Yes. All right.
Yep. Okay. 20 minutes and we still haven't finished our list.
No, it's okay. If we don't finish, we'll get there. All right. One that I've actually been watching, and I've said so many times, I don't watch TV, and I have just found this one. I found it this week, actually. That's what gave me the idea of tonight's show. It's called Missing in Alaska. Now, we all know Alaska is huge, and I think they said 80% of it hasn't even been, a human has not stepped, they know that someone has been there. So there's this area called the Alaskan Triangle. It's in the northwest portion of Alaska, and there is 20 people out of every 1,000 go missing. That's registered. So you know where I'm talking about. She's thinking. All right. So why you think?
I have a location. I have a location that is part of the Alaska Triangle that I've done the history on.
Ben and I are actually planning.
See, I told you I'm a history buff.
2025, Ben and I are going on an Alaskan cruise for 2 weeks. So we've been planning that for a while. We just haven't done. But they again, it goes back to Yep. So I mean,
yeah, it is overwater, Anthony. It is.
Yep, the Alaskan Triangle is, most of it's marsh and stuff down there, and the glaciers and the rivers and stuff. But the last episode that I was actually watching is what really got my attention this week. I don't know what sequence. This guy on YouTube takes this whole show and does. This is like 3 shows in a row. I do know there was only like 12 shows the whole season, and they only had the 1 season. It's 3 guys. One is an actual full-time paranormal investigator. One was a former police detective in the military, and the second one is a native in Tommy. He was an expert in Alaskan legends. He was born into one of the, I want to say tribes, but I'm probably getting it wrong because, that's me, wrong everything. But yeah, they were going in and they were like, find this, this guy was actually finding gold, again, crystals, gold, stones. He was going in panning for gold for what he heard was a heavy vein. Well, he came up missing. And there is I'm going to say it wrong, back in the 1800s, there was a tribe who was known for, just on the other side of Canada, for cutting off the heads of anyone who trespassed on their land. They felt that, all land is sacred. You couldn't disturb any of it. You couldn't dig on it. You couldn't they actually walked on pine needles and 3-inch pine needle shoes that they had, so that they personally, their skin was not disturbing the ground. Yeah. So, and then it was known that they moved into different parts of Alaska. Well, they would, if you were found in their area, and then when they moved into the other parts of Alaska, you disturbed any land, they cut your head off. So a lot of people was thinking, okay, we've seen sightings of people, and I can't remember. I'm sorry, I literally just watched this 2 days ago. But yeah, it's called Missing in Alaska, and I like it that there's 3 aspects of the investigators, and I like that they don't just go into, here is a legend. They dissect it, So someone's had evidence. They were doing the Thunderbird episode not too long ago, and there's Marathon Mountain up there, and a woman was running up Marathon Mountain. Marathon Mountain is when it's supposed to be 1 hour from the time you go up to the time you get down. To walk it takes 3.5 just to go up. To walk it down, but that's, I could never do it. I can't run. I suck. But yeah, that's another one. There's also another one where, a kayak. I run really slowly, called walking. But yeah, they also investigated the lake dragon in Limonaya Lake, also known as Lilia. So pretty much, what is the one over in Scotland? Nessie. So they investigated the one up in
the Loch Ness Monster.
Yeah, Nessie. So, but we all know there's one in Michigan. They all say it, but they
not the Twilight.
What? Did I miss something?
You said Nessie, and I said no, not Renesmee from Twilight.
Oh, I don't even remember. I didn't even remember that they had that name.
Yeah. You don't remember Jacob nicknaming Renesmee Nessie, and Bella goes all new vampire on his ass and said, "You nicked my daughter at the Loch Ness Monster." You read the books
with my niece over the phone. Doesn't mean I actually paid attention to him, but that's your time frame. You're young. So that's my other show.
So I'm just going to say this is my last one because we'll just leave Ghost Adventures and Ghost Hunters out. The Extreme Paranormal. Now, when I was looking up for these shows.
Hey! You did our legwork.
Thank you, Anthony. I'm definitely going to have to look that up. I'm definitely going to have to look up. So the last show that I just came across while looking up for the paranormal shows for us to talk about tonight is called it's called Extreme Paranormal. Now, I've never heard of this show, and from the looks of it, it is from 2009. So pretty much it's like any other paranormal investigator. Oh, unlike.
Hi, Jeremy.
Hi, Jeremy. Okay, so from what I screenshotted and looked at this, it kind of it irks me a little bit because it said, unlike other paranormal investigators, Sean, Nathan, and Jason put themselves in harm's way. They taunt the ghosts, they summon summoning the dead and daring the demonics to attack. That irks me a little bit, so I don't think I'm going to watch this show, only because, it seems like they want to get attacked, and I'm sorry, you're not going to go into a location and provoke an entity or a spirit. That's their home. So I'm not going to watch this show because digging and reading a little bit more about it was like, you know what? Though it's not for me because, well, coming from, the loving paranormal community that we're in now, no one provokes. And we definitely don't provoke when we go out, We might, when we go to the Kosciuszko County Jail, frisky at times, but it's like,
Judd
why
is my
would
friend.
you do that? Why provoke and everything? Why would you intentionally try to get attacked by something? But I also felt like this show was just for them, again, attention seekers.
Yeah,
because I'm like,
I think a lot of people nowadays.
I'm sitting there thinking, while reading about this, what's going to happen if you actually do get an attachment? What happens if you're going to get the attachment is going to attach itself to you and you're going to be in so much trouble? You're going to call more paranormal investigators to help you out because you were stupid and decided that you were going to provoke and summon something when you have absolutely no clue on what you're doing.
Well,
that's just my point of view.
Well, you're right, because I actually was going through TikTok on our TikTok. It just happened because all we have is paranormal investigators on our personal that we follow. And I was going through. This was probably about 2 weeks ago. And there was a live stream from Randolph County. Now, I'm wanting to say these kids, and I do say kids because I am 40 to you guys, so I'm proud of that. I want to say they're in their 20s. And they were literally going down the hall on live on TikTok. So something that we can't even do yet. We haven't got there, but I wanted to. I wanted to come through that TV, my phone. They were screaming and yelling at Doris. Come out, you motherfucking bitch, was the words they said over and over and over. And I said, I can't watch this. I cannot watch this. It was on TikTok. And what got me to watch the first few minutes was I was like, that's Randolph County. I've been in that kitchen a million times. I was like, no. And then they said,
me off.
Yeah. I mean, the places. And
that is so.
They are a local Northern Indiana newly formed paranormal team. I was so mad. And their TikTok, oh, trust me, I went to go dig. I started digging. I was like, that disrespects a place that I love. I've been there so many times. But yeah, I searched them. They didn't have a Facebook page. They literally had only 7 TikToks on their page at all. Not saying we have a lot, but yeah. Finally, I was like, I gotta walk away. Provoking just pisses me off.
And I mean, that's the problem.
Let's see. Sorry, Anthony, I was on a rant.
No, because that's ridiculous. Because that, Doris is a very sweet lady. You can't hear me?
We've lost her.
What do you mean? Can you hear me?
Nope. No, but let's see. I'm.
Okay, how about now?
I hardly watch TV. I'm not big on TV. I used to work for a cable company, so I'm a reader. I like books.
Yes, Jeremy, that is the truth. Can't hear me, can you? You can. Okay, Jeremy says he can't
hear you, Linda.
Can you hear me? So, but yeah,
she was having problems earlier today
totally
with her camera. It might be something she's working on, but we're almost there.
Jeremy, yeah, they hear me. Yeah, you just can't. It's not our show if we don't have technical difficulties. What is going on? So, Jeremy and Anthony, you can hear me, correct?
Hi, guys. So, but I don't know.
Oh, thank you, David. Thank you. I don't know what happened. I honestly don't know what happened. She
Can you hear
said
me?
that she couldn't hear me. I can hear you. I think she's playing with you. It would surprise me, Anthony. See what happened? See what happened? She went on a rant and now she can't hear me.
Toxic chaos.
Oh. But thank you, David, for sharing. I don't know what's going on, guys. 10 minutes left of the show. I was having difficulty with my webcam earlier. But I honestly, since I don't think it's on my end, I think it's on her end. So, but yes, it's some of the shows that we did tonight. It was a last minute thing, guys. We were talking about the shows that, paranormal shows and how we felt about them and stuff. And so that was she took herself she's off the stream for right now because she's trying to figure out why she can't hear me, Jeremy. So, but if you guys notice, we do have a TikTok page. It was called Crossroads Encounter. It's called Crossroads Encounters, but our official name is Toxic Chaos Podcast. We can't change the name yet until the 15th of this month, but it will get changed. So,
Hi.
oh, she's back.
My battery was dying. I had to plug it back in.
See, that's why. Look, they're docking on you over here in the comments. Did you see that?
I was like, I knew it was my computer. I was like, fuck.
I love you guys. Don't. So, did you see David shared to the group?
Oh, thank you. So yeah, sorry, my computer started doing this. I was like, I know.
Probably Blake.
So, yeah, it was Blake. If you listen, you can hear him.
He's over there giggling.
Yeah. Hey, last time Blake messed with this, he got
you, Anthony.
So
look at your screen. Look at what Jeremy said.
Hey, I will admit, last time Blake messed with my computer and we were live. He got things taken off the air for what, 2 days? Talking about soccer.
Yep. Yeah. Thank you again, Anthony. Thank you again, David, for sharing. We really, really appreciate it. And guys, make sure you do go follow our TikTok page. It is.
I'm wondering, do you have a cat story? Yes, I have a ghost kitty. I put her down, and she's with us. And Linda, before Blake did, I remember this. But Linda has a ghost a puppy. Yeah. So when the soccer tournaments was going on, the world,
it's almost been. Remember when it was the soccer tournament, Jeremy?
Yeah, the World Cup.
It was our video that got flagged for the copyright thing. But yes, I do. Here, I'll get a picture of her so you guys can. Oh, that Jeremy remembers now.
Yeah, it was Blake's fault because if you go back and you actually listen, you'll hear him talking the whole time I'm here. Would ever put a cat ball or something behind me, he'd play with it.
There is my baby.
Interesting. Yep. So she has a puppy. I've got a ghost kitty. Her name's August. She hangs out in my kitchen.
I put her down. This is Phoenix. I had to put her down right before Christmas. So December 16th of last year, I had to put her down, and she wasn't even 3 years old.
Oh, wow. So, well, I will admit the one
Again?
that got. I've had to tell Blake several times to watch his mouth during our shows. So. He's caused all
Yes,
kinds of trouble.
Blake.
I mean, if you'll
We
see
love
the
you,
stage
but no,
and stuff
no, no,
behind
no,
me,
no.
I don't have any air and no fans in here. But if it's moving, it's his fault.
So, but
Good, good.
good, good. They deserve it because what we are doing has nothing to do with that. Not
Well,
unless we
you
got
know-
some spirits behind us playing some of that stuff.
I got a question for you, Linda, before we wrap up. Is this something we might want to do another time?
You're reading my mind. I swear to God. I don't like this, guys.
Of course I'm reading your mind. We're connected. But yeah, so I mean, I kind of liked doing
That
a
is
paranormal
scary,
reading.
guys. Yeah. Yeah, me too. But that's scary though, guys, because I'll be sitting there thinking of something like now, like I was gonna say something about doing this again, and she brought it up, or we'll sit there and wear the same shirt on the same day, not even talk to each other, or our hair, or whatever.
That's just normal.
So
to me.
yeah, I mean, we have. Why don't we make this like a regular thing? Also, since we don't have nothing really planned. Make us strong with this one. So, I mean, we got serial killers across the pond, late 1800s next week. And then why don't we just do it like we do serial killers across the pond once a month?
Okay.
Do paranormal shows and
We can
talk
do every
about
other
them and
discuss anything and everything. Yeah, like Anthony said, 411 on paranormal info.
why don't we start doing ooh, I have a good idea for a show, for an episode. Why don't we look into paranormal legends or folklores?
Like cryptid types? Yes.
Like
Mothman?
Mothman and all them?
Yes. I'm all about that. You know me. Pull something from history and legends and I'm there. I will get back to the Bell Witch days.
Indiana Cross.
I'm taking you. Oh,
Where?
wait. I heard something really sad this week.
What?
Bobby Mackey's is closing.
They're not closing, they are remodeling.
But it will not be the same. Will not be the same. Mm-mm. I've been to Bobby Mackey's.
Well, no, it won't be the same, but I've seen that. Okay, I about cried because I've never been there and I wanted to go there. And then I kept researching it. They are not closing their doors. They are just remodeling. They're shut down for a remodel.
It is still not going to be the sawdust on the floor, the crumbling bad paneling, and the smoke-filled rooms.
But no. But
Will not
listen,
be the same.
though. They're remodeling, so guess what's going to happen? What happens when you remodel any paranormal activity? That's going to shoot through the roof.
I went to Bobby Mackey's in the 90s. I was at Bobby Mackey's in the 90s.
Oh, Jeremy. White or gray dressed women show up before the big storms. Off coast beach before storms. What does that mean, Chanel?
I don't know, but it is at that time. We are a minute over. Love having everybody here. I hope you enjoyed our show, and it is nothing but toxic and chaos with us. So thank you for joining us.
Thanks, guys.
Night.
Oh, okay, thank you. All right, Jeremy. Have a good night, guys. We'll talk to you guys next week. And remember, I'm Toxic, this is Chaos, and next week we are having serial killers across the pond, late 1800s.